The morning air was thick with anticipation as hundreds of fans, reporters, and curious bystanders gathered outside the military training center. South Korea was once again reminded of the bittersweet ritual it knew too well: another star, another farewell. Another moment when glittering stages gave way to military boots and solemn vows. Yet, this day felt different. This was the day Eun-woo, the beloved face of Astro and the actor who had become a cultural phenomenon, would officially begin his military service. The country held its breath. But no one could have predicted that this seemingly routine oath ceremony would ignite one of the most shocking and emotional moments in recent K-pop history. The atmosphere outside the gates was electric. Fans had camped overnight, some clutching handwritten banners, others holding photos and albums, their hands trembling from the August heat and the nervous energy that came with goodbyes. It wasn't just a farewell to a celebrity, it was a farewell to a companion, a source of strength, and a piece of joy in their daily lives. Cameras flashed continuously, capturing every movement as Eun-woo arrived in his neatly pressed uniform. His face almost unrecognizable without the carefully styled hair and makeup the public was accustomed to. Yet, if anything, the simplicity of his appearance made him more striking. A reminder that beneath the fame and polished image was a young man stepping into duty like thousands of others. The ceremony began with military precision. Rows of recruits stood in formation, their voices echoing as they recited the traditional pledge of loyalty to the nation. Eun-woo stood tall among them, his posture perfect, his expression calm. But to those who knew him well, or even those who had simply watched him for years on stage and screen, there was something in his eyes that morning. It wasn't just solemn duty, it was as if he carried a secret, a truth waiting to break free. The oath proceeded in rhythm, officers guiding the recruits through each line. And then, as the final notes of the military band faded and applause filled the training ground, something unexpected happened. He raised his hand slightly, requesting to speak. At first, it seemed like a small gesture of thanks, perhaps a word to fans or family. But then he unfolded a piece of paper from his pocket, a letter. The silence was immediate and deafening. His voice trembled at first but grew steadier with each word. He thanked his family, bowing slightly toward the section where his parents were believed to be seated discreetly among the crowd. He thanked his fellow Astro members, colleagues in the entertainment industry, and most of all, his fans, whom he described as the stars that have guided me through every dark night. Tears welled in the eyes of many listening, already overwhelmed by the vulnerability he showed. Yet it was his next line that would send shockwaves across the nation. And to the special girl who has always believed in me, Eun-woo read, his voice faltering for just a moment before he steadied himself again. I hope you know that even in this uniform, my thoughts are never far from you. Gasps rippled through the audience. The weight of those words fell like a stone into still water, sending waves of speculation instantly across social media platforms. Who is this special girl? Why had he chosen this moment, perhaps the most public and solemn of his life, to acknowledge her? Reporters scrambled for their phones, their fingers flying across screens as they filed breaking headlines. Fans in the crowd clutched each other, some sobbing, others stunned into silence. The letter continued with the words of humility and gratitude. Lines, the ones about the special girl, overshadowed everything else. It was as if the world had stopped turning, every ear straining to decode his meaning. For many, there was only one possible answer: Moon Ga-young. The speculation was immediate and relentless. Memories flooded back of their time together filming the drama True Beauty, where their on-screen chemistry had sparked whispers of something more. Fans remembered the stolen glances, the laughter that seemed too genuine to be scripted, and the way Eun-woo's demeanor softened around her. Clips from behind-the-scenes footage resurfaced within minutes online, circulated with captions like, "Was he always talking about her?" Moon Ga-young herself had long been the subject of rumors linking her romantically to Eun-woo, though both had always denied such speculation. Their friendship was undeniable. They supported each other's projects, their names often appearing side by side in entertainment news. Fans had often indulged in harmless daydreams of their romance. Few believed either would risk confirming such a relationship, especially in the spotlight of military service. Now, with one sentence, Eun-woo had cracked the door wide open. Social media exploded. Hashtags like special girl, Eun-woo confession, and Moon Ga-young trended within minutes, not only in Korea but internationally. Fans posted tearful videos reacting to the moment. Some celebrated, thrilled by what they believed was confirmation of the long-suspected romance. Others felt heartbreak, pang at the thought that their idol had given his heart away. But whether in joy or sorrow, everyone agreed, this was history in the making. Journalists and entertainment reporters rushed to provide commentary. It is unprecedented. One veteran journalist remarked on a live broadcast. Idols often leave letters before enlistment, yes, but they are usually carefully curated, sanitized of personal revelations. For Eun-woo to mention a special girl in the middle of his oath ceremony, this is extraordinary. Another commentator added, he meant Moon Ga-young. This was a very deliberate choice. The military oath is about loyalty, duty, honor. To link that with a personal confession, it is poetic, but also shocking. A training ground, fans wept openly. One woman clutched a light stick painted with Eun-woo's name, whispering, he deserves happiness, even if it hurts. Another young fan, live streaming the event, sobbed into the camera, he's brave. He didn't have to say it, but he did. That's love. The ceremony ended with applause, though the mood was completely different from what anyone had expected. Soldiers saluted. Officers congratulated the recruits. Families began to disperse. Yet all anyone could talk about was the letter, the girl, and the confession that now hung in the air like a storm cloud. Later that day, major news outlets plastered headlines across their front pages. Eun-woo mentioned special girl in oath letter, nation stunned. Broadcasts replayed the clip endlessly. Commentators dissecting his tone, his expression. Even the slight pause before he uttered the phrase. Fans uploaded high-definition videos of the moment. Slowed down to catch every flicker of emotion in his face. But the frenzy didn't end there. Within hours, attention turned squarely to Moon Ga-young. Was filming her upcoming drama in Seoul when reporters ambushed her outside the studio. Microphones were thrust toward her. Questions flying, did you hear Eun-woo's statement? Are you the special girl? Do you have any comment? True to form, Ga-young maintained her composure, offering only a polite smile before slipping into her van without a word. That silence, however, only poured fuel on the fire. Fans began to analyze her recent social media posts, scrutinizing every caption, every emoji, every photo for hidden meaning. One post in particular, an image of a sunset she had shared weeks earlier with the words waiting is part of love, suddenly resurfaced with thousands of comments linking it to Eun-woo's letter. Was it a clue? A foreshadowing? The theories multiplied endlessly. Meanwhile, Fantagio, Eun-woo's agency, released a brief statement late in the evening. Eun-woo expressed his personal gratitude during the enlistment ceremony today. We ask for the public's understanding and respect during this time as he begins his military service. The vague wording did nothing to calm the storm. In fact, it only heightened curiosity. Key East, Moon Ga-young's agency, declined to comment altogether. Silence spoke louder than words. By nightfall, the country was ablaze with debate. Was this the most daring love confession in idol history? Or was it simply a poetic phrase, misinterpreted by an eager public desperate for drama? And if it was indeed Moon Ga-young, what would this mean for both of their careers once Eun-woo returned from service? The mystery deepened as fans replayed the moment again and again. His voice, steady but tender. His eyes, searching as if looking for someone in the crowd. The simple words that carried the weight of 1,000 unspoken feelings, to the special girl who has always believed in me. As the first day of his enlistment closed, one thing was certain, Eun-woo had left behind not just the image of an idol stepping into duty. Unforgettable mark of a man who had chosen honesty. The cost of chaos. The nation waited breathlessly for what would come next. And somewhere, perhaps quietly and away from the cameras, Ga-young was waiting too. The following days only deepened the frenzy. Forums lit up with theories and emotional testimonies. International media picked up the story, dubbing it the confession heard around the world. Lines from Japan to the US echoed the same question, who is the special girl? And why did Eun-woo choose that moment, that place? Acknowledge her? Moon Ga-young's silence became its own kind of statement. When she appeared on set the next morning, she carried herself with calm elegance. But every photo taken of her was dissected for signs. Was that a faint smile? Were her eyes red from crying? She wore a bracelet she had been spotted with before. One fan swore matched a piece Eun-woo once wore. Suddenly, Even jewelry became evidence. Global fan bases organized virtual events, holding live-stream discussions, creating fan art, and even staging support projects for the couple. Feeds filled with emotional posts, "We'll wait for you, Eun-woo," and "We'll wait for your love story too." Another fan from Brazil wrote, "This is more than gossip, it's human. It's about a man brave enough to confess when he didn't have to." Cultural critics added their voices to the growing discourse. Some praised Eun-woo for his vulnerability, saying how rare it was for idols to break from carefully crafted images. Others worried the revelation could harm both careers. The industry's historically unforgiving attitude toward public relationships. Still, the overwhelming sentiment was one of admiration. Honesty had struck a chord, transcending the rigid boundaries of fandom. As weeks passed, the mystery refused to fade. Every update from the military training center, every blurry photo of Eun-woo in uniform, was paired with speculation about whether he had been in contact with Moon Ga-young. Fans created elaborate timelines, connecting her schedules with possible visits, weaving a web of possibilities that blurred the line between reality and imagination. But beyond the frenzy, there was a quieter, deeper truth. The oath ceremony, its rigid formality, had become something more, a stage for vulnerability. Eun-woo had not just promised loyalty to his country, he had promised loyalty to his heart. For fans, that was both shocking and profoundly moving. This would pass before the storm quieted. Agencies continued to dodge direct answers. Moon Ga-young remained gracefully silent, focusing on her acting projects. But the memory of that day refused to fade. For those who were there, the image of Eun-woo in uniform, holding that small letter with trembling hands, remained etched forever in their hearts. The nation waited for his return. One question lingered, suspended in the air like a note unresolved in a song. When the uniform comes off and the stage lights shine again, will he finally name the special girl he dared to acknowledge before the world? Until then, the letter, the words. History would live on, proof that sometimes, even in the most formal of ceremonies, finds a way to speak.